It is fascinating to listen to people describe how they see themselves. In other words, what is the basis of your dignity? What is the basis of your identity as a human being? Do you view yourself as being loved or as being unloved? You and I live in a culture that says, measure yourself by appearance. How do you look physically? Are you one of the beautiful people? You and I live in a culture that says, measure your identity, measure your value by the size of your bank account or your stock portfolio. Are you wealthy or are you poor? You and I live in a culture that says, measure yourself, base your identity on how many important people know you and how many important people you know and hang out with. You and I live in a culture that says, compare your achievements to the achievements of others. That's the basis of your worth, your value, your identity, your dignity. The problem is that if you base your life on those options, you open yourself up to selfish ambition and competition. You have to compete with others and beat others in order to prove to the world, in order to prove to yourself your identity, your value. It also leads to guilt and to depression. You feel like you've done wrong when you haven't done wrong. You've become depressed because you don't measure up to some of those false standards. You feel like a failure at times, and you feel like withdrawing. You get into self-depreciation, and that is tragic. It's phenomenal to watch people who build their identity on appearance, bank account, people you know, comparing achievements. That is to build your life on sand. Jesus Christ says, you're loved by the God who created the universe. Build your identity, build your dignity and your value on Him. For He has given you value, given you dignity, given you identity. In other words, you don't earn your value. You don't earn your dignity. It is something that God gives you.